Hello and welcome to my Elden Ring challenge run. We are currently on episode 6. If you have not seen the first couple episodes, I do recommend checking them out. Although I don't narrate over those ones, they're still perfectly good episodes, and they also show a lot of the beginning of the run. So I do highly recommend them. Also, thank you for watching if you've seen my prior videos. So we immediately start with Fire Giant, which is quite a long fight. I think it took me over 6 minutes or so, almost 7 minutes, because he likes to roll around and run away a lot, and it took a really long time, which is also really annoying to record because I do everything I do on Xbox. But I do manage to do it. I did have to make a cut which looks very awkward, but I think I made it look not too bad. Anyway, for first phase I target the ankles as you do. Jump attacks are the best course of action. Of course, I don't do charge attacks because breaking Fire Giant's poise is already hard enough, and these whips would just never get me there. And even if I did manage to break his poise, I wouldn't get much payoff off it. So I may as well just keep hitting his ankles. I do go on horseback for a bit, but then realize I don't know how to fight on horseback, so I run out of it. He also does my least favourite attack called Son of the Fell God, but I just usually call it Cruel Sun because of Escanor. But it's really annoying because it forces you to back away and you can't really stop it or do anything else about it. But it is pretty easy to deal with, it's just annoying because it stops the pressure. But I don't have bleed on my whips anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much, it just really slows down the fight. As you just saw, I did do a charged heavy and the damage was pretty good. But I can't always land the second half of the charged heavy as he likes to roll away on top. I did just lose my bubble tier, which is unfortunate, but it was about to run out sooner or later anyway, as I was already about a minute and a half into this fight, so it only had about a minute or so left anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. But it is kind of unfortunate because if he does one attack, it will just kill me and I cannot stop it. Even with Ritual Shield Talisman, it will still kill me. So I do reach phase 2, which isn't too bad, except it's really annoying because I have to hit his hands, I don't have an option in it. Because if I try to hit his legs, we'll be here for literally 10 or 20 minutes, and I can't do that. Xbox would just not allow it. So I do try to go for his hands to make this as quick as possible, but obviously he doesn't always let me hit them, so I do have to hit his legs sometimes, even though I try to avoid it. Something he now does in second phase is he spawns 2 Cruel Suns, which is just twice as annoying because now I have to bait both of them, which just wastes more and more time. As you can see, it just stopped me from attacking there because I would have been standing in the fire. So I just really don't like the attack, even though it's not that big of a problem. I get pretty lucky here, and I just keep hitting his hands because he just keeps giving me opportunities. He even lets me hit his eye for a bit, which you'll see I do here for some really good damage. But obviously I have to back out. So I try to get on my horse, his arm blocks me. Somehow I don't get knocked off Torrent, but that's fine, but I do almost die immediately after. Now this is my least favourite attack, which I'd actually put below Cruel Sun, but luckily he has 2 variants of it. One where he blasts the floor, and one where he blasts outward. He did the easy one to dodge, which is the blast the floor one, because you can just run away and he'll not be able to hit you. But if he does the blast outwards one, I don't think it's dodgeable. It bounces off everything, and no matter what, you just get hit, and it pretty much always one-shots you. It's really, really annoying. Something I did realize is that when he does pounce down, I can actually just hit his eye from above. Like, I don't need to hit his hands. I can just hit the eye above me and it will land. And that's better because I'm pretty sure his eye is weaker than his hands. So if he does a slam down attack, I could just hit his eye and I don't actually need to hit his hands. So I'm always hitting a weak spot, and that's actually a really good benefit of the whips, which I did not know about until just then. Although this can be a little finicky sometimes, it doesn't always work, because you really have to position yourself properly if you want to be able to hit the eye. And God forbid he stands on a rock, you won't be able to hit it. And also I think some attacks he just has his torso too high. But either way, it is still a very useful strategy when it decides to work. This is also the point where I'd like to mention, this fight took me a lot of tries because he kept doing that blast outwards attack with his big fire eye thing in his mouth, and that kept killing me. But I got really lucky this time that he didn't do that. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason I won. I did take a stupid hit there because I thought that hitbox would be gone by then. But it's fine because as you can see, he's got almost no health left. He did kill Torrent, but that's fine because I could just summon him back and I've got a couple extra flasks anyway. I did miss the chance to get his weak spot here almost entirely, but I did get one cheeky hit off right near the end. And we did just go over the cut I was talking about. I did do a pretty decent job, but I still hope if you did notice it that it wasn't too big of an issue for you. And there is the kill. We did do it pretty easily. I did get a gold pickle foul foot. Now I know I have his remembrance and I should craft the whip, but I would be honest, I completely fucking forgot about that and I just used his remembrance for runes. So I did have a side goal to obtain every single type of whip, but I kind of ruined it when I did that, so we're just sticking with all the whips I have currently. So we do make it to Farum, Azula, and I do a little bit of me getting to the first grace, because it was kind of funny, because I did get stuck by a couple beastmen as they were trying to kill me, and I had a lot of difficulties killing them, but I'll just let the rest of it play out. It's not that long of a scene, it's kind of funny to watch. And as you can see, I died. But luckily, I do manage to kill the Godskin Doer on my 3rd or 4th attempt, which actually made it pretty easy. Surprisingly, this build is pretty good against both of them, which I didn't expect. I thought this would be a major roadblock, but it's really not. Now I do target the Noble because I know his moveset the best and I can guarantee I can dodge majority of his attacks. So I do target him overall, but when he does die, I kind of try to kill the Apostle, but in reality I'm just trying to see whenever I can hit him. I do jumping attacks and I get hit on him a lot, but I do almost die here. I do get lucky, they decide not to throw a fireball at me immediately as I try to heal, which does give me a good opportunity. I miss a charged heavy, which is fine, but I do get hit with an overhead, which is bad. And as you can see, I take a lot of hits from the start of the fight here. Looks pretty bad, but it does get a lot better very soon. And I do manage to land a successful full charged heavy, which is useful. I did a lot of damage and actually managed to phase transition him. Now, I do go behind a pillar, and for once in my life, he actually gets caught in the pillar, which is very good because with my charged heavy, I can hit him directly through the pillar as long as Skinny leaves me alone. And this means I can get Godskin Noble dead as soon as he reaches 2nd phase, as long as I can get him stuck on the pillar. Now, for Skinny, I really don't know how to fight him, like I said. I just kind of keep jumping at him, whenever I think his attack combo is done, like that, I had a good idea that his attack combo was probably over, so I went to go attack like that, and fireballs. And when he did summon, I did also attack him because I knew I had a good opportunity, but I did miss half of my attack mode, which is unfortunate. But he is almost dead, so before Fatty can get here, I do try to finish him off, which I do manage to do in time. But now I've got to fight Fatty again, but because he's on his own now, it's a much easier fight than it was originally. I do a lot better at dodging him now that it's just him, because I have a lot of practice with him. I just don't have a lot of practice with fighting him alongside Skinny, which is annoying. Now I do manage to get behind a pillar, but just barely. Once again, he does get stuck, and like I said, when he gets stuck, I just win the second phase of the noble. It's pretty easy, honestly. So I do manage to kill Fatty, and I do hit his corpse once just to get some extra damage in. And now they have to fight Skinny on his own. It's actually not that bad, considering Skinny only has to take 3 or 4 hits before he's dead. So as you can tell, Godskin Duo was surprisingly pretty easy. Now I do already have the Hoslow Pedal Whip, but there is a way to obtain another one, so I decided to do that to fight Hoslow again, which is pretty easy, but he did screw me over a couple times, but I did get him on this attempt, as you can see. So I really should take off the Magma Whip, but I forget to because I like it, and I really should put on the Arumi, as it is a very good weapon and it has a lot more range than this. And the only reason I use this is for the Ash of War, which I can't land, especially on an enemy like this that moves around way too much. As you can see, I did realize that, and I do swap to the Arumi. And I keep doing that charged heavy and determination just to get as much damage off. Now he does have bleed, so I do have to be careful. I do manage to stagger him in the air there. Gets me very close to death, which I'm very lucky I survived that. But I do just keep my distance and keep trying to whip him with rolls. But he has a whip too, so he has the same range as me, so it's kind of hard to play that game. But I do finish him off with a normal heavy attack, just as he closes in on me. So, like I said, I do obtain Hoslow's Pedal Whip for the second time. I also do obtain the Dragon Crest Shield Talisman +2, something like that. I actually don't remember the name that much. But I do get it, and I do put it on because it's just a straight upgrade from what I had originally. Do almost die in the parkour, but that's fine. You didn't see that. And next fight will be Malekith. But before I do fight Malekith, I do decide to max upgrade all my whips, which did take a while collecting all the smithing stones and getting all the rooms to get the smithing stones off the trader as well. But it was worth it because, as you can see, when I do fight Malekith right now, you'll be seeing I do a decent amount of damage. Now, Beast Clergyman I'm not that confident with, but Malekith I am. So I fuck up a lot in the first phase, but I do a lot better in second phase, surprisingly. My main strategy for this fight was mostly just doing jump attacks whenever I got the opportunity to do one, which did a decent amount of damage, as you can see. My opportunities were the rock throw, the giant overhead swing like his full combo here, but I had to stay close to that, and this twisty run which he does as well, but only if I stand in the right place or I dodge at the right time. A couple times before this I did try to jump over it just to see if it was possible, and I don't think it is because it usually hit me, like right here. I tried to jump it, and even though I'm pretty sure I was over the blade, it just didn't want me to do that. Other than that, I just keep stepping back and baiting out these attacks. Also, this claw attack, that's a really good one to dodge as well. His pocket stand also does hurt, but only if I'm too close, so I try to keep my distance. Now I did get very lucky there, because when he was about to slam down and cause a bunch of rocks to go up in the air, I did manage to phase 2, which allows me to fight Malekith, and like I said, I'm a lot more confident with Malekith than I am Beast Clergyman, because Malekith makes a lot more sense to me. All you have to do for this fight is never stop going to him, because if you always chase him, you will usually just dodge most of his attacks. He really punishes you if you try to run away. But this attack took me a while to learn, but I did learn if you just run at him the whole time, you usually dodge it. And when he does this slam attack, do make sure you dodge twice, because he will do a slight follow-up where he raptures the ground again, which also just does a lot of damage, so you don't want to be stepping in that. I do manage to get hit here, which is pretty sad. I guess I shouldn't say I managed to do it. I unfortunately got hit there, but it's fine because it does give me a good opportunity afterwards to hit him again with a determination hit. And he does this attack again, which gives me another good opportunity to hit him. It puts him right on the verge of death, but then of course he runs away on 1 HP and has a last effort to try and kill me. So I managed to get a jump attack on Malekith just to finish him off. Probably could have just did an R1, but that's fine. Anyway, this is probably going to be the end of this episode, but there will be a little bit after this where I'd just like to talk for a little bit and thank you guys for sticking around. But yeah, pretty easy boss fight. Thank you for sticking around for so long. I don't really have that many people that watch my videos all the way out, which is alright. If they want to watch only a little bit, that's all they have to do. But it really does help the more you watch. So thank you for sticking around for so long and all the way to the end especially. Anyway, see ya and have a good day.